Hey guys, want to do a video here. We're doing a gearing the front axle of the Wifey's 2003 TJ I've been building on this channel for a minute, and we're gonna upgrade the front axle from 373 gears to 410s to match the Dana 44 I have in the rear of this. That's the biggest reason we're doing this upgrade. Not necessarily for off-roading or bigger tires, just to match gears so we can actually put the Jeep in the four-wheel drive. There's been a couple videos online recently I've seen that I don't necessarily agree with on some of their thought processes, so I just want to show you, I guess, what my thought process is and let you guys figure out what makes sense to you. Quick overview. These are two carriers. This is the one that was in her Jeep. This is my 410s that are out of a different Jeep. I have no problems reusing gears, carriers, all that good stuff. There's part of one of the videos I saw, they said they'd never reuse gears and you should always get new gears and everything else, and I don't necessarily agree with that. In fact, if you actually look in the Bible, the Yukon re-gearing set, there's actually page 9 on the bottom. There's a whole thing about used gear sets, and if you're going to use them, that's fine. And even on the setup specifications, if you go in here, there's actually a pinion preload, and they have new and used bearings and what you want on those. So I think these guys know quite a bit. Focus. I think these guys know quite a bit about gears. So if they're saying it's okay to reuse used gears, I definitely have no issues with it. But part of the thing about what we're doing here in this explanation video is I hear a lot of people talking about wanting to re-gear, what gears are best for me, what am I doing, and there's a lot of misinformation, and some people just say go with this and go with that. This is what I have, you know, which is what most people do in the world anymore. Just get what I have because it's got to be the best because that's what I spent my money on. No, that's not always the best. People are just trying to justify their purchases, and like I said, just a lot of misinformation. So anyway, these are the 373s. This is your ring gear, and this is your pinion gear right here. This guy meshes in with this, turns it, and makes the power come from the drive shaft, turns it 90 degrees, and goes out the actual shafts to your tires. When we go bigger tires, typically is when you want to re-gear, and what we're trying to do is get some of that mechanical advantage back. You're losing leverage when you go to a bigger tire from a smaller tire, so the majority of the time we're just trying to get this leverage back, and the easiest way to do that is in the gear ratios. That is one thing some of these other videos got definitely down right, is gearing can redo the way your Jeep drives. I recommend re-gearing as soon as you upgrade tires, and knowing what gears you want to go with is definitely one of the biggest things you can do for performance, and that's something you're going to feel every single day. It's not just an off-roading thing, it's not just a showboating thing. Most people don't appreciate them because you can't see them. You know, it's not a winch, it's not a light bar, it's not a new bumper. Ooh, I got new seat covers. These are inside, you're not going to see them, but you as a driver, just merging on the freeway, going off-roading, even if you don't off-road, just going out and getting groceries, you're going to notice these gears every single time you drive your Jeep. So to me, these are some of the first things I look at when I'm thinking about upgrading a Jeep. So what we're doing is we're increasing the gear ratio between these two, like I said, for mechanical advantage. Part of the problem is when you go deeper into gears, so you go from 373 to 410, to make that happen, you actually have to change the gear size, the pinion sizes. And what that does is, like I said, this is 373. I'll try to do this without dropping one of these. So that's a 373. And this guy here is a 410. Now these are both Dana 30s, or Jeep TJs. They're both the front, and you can actually physically see that the 373 to 1 compared to the 410 to 1, you can actually see the pinion is smaller. The pinion gears, they're actually they're actually smaller. You can actually see that. And one of the reasons why a lot of people will upgrade to Dana 44s, Dana 60s, and so forth isn't necessarily the strength of the whole housing or the unit bearings, if you're running unit bearings or hubs and all that good stuff. The one of the biggest reasons is you can run deeper gears and not lose the size of your pinion. And I'll try to show that here in a second. So these are 373s. You can kind of see that guy there. Again, Dana 30. This is a Dana 44. Or Dana 30, I'm sorry, Dana 30, 410s, again smaller. So if we compare that to a Dana 44 with 410s, bam, these are the exact same gear ratio, 410. So it's the same gear ratio, Dana 30, Dana 44. This is what majority of the time you're upgrading. You hear some people say, oh, from the pumpkin out it's the same and yada yada. Well, it kind of is mostly, but one of the biggest reasons is if you're going to break something in your axle because you upgraded tires and you're going off-roading, you're airing down, you're actually getting into stuff, you're actually not just trail riding and all this good stuff. 9 times out of 10, if you're going to break something, you're going to strip your gears. And a lot of times because they're just not strong enough. So the upgrading from a Dana 30 to a 44, the same gear ratio, that's how much more meat you got in this, you know. And compare the ring gears. I got one here. This will be the exact same 410 gear ratio from a Dana 30 to a 44. So again, the ring gear is much bigger. These are the parts you're actually upgrading when you go from a 44 or from a 30 to a 44 again. Now in some of these videos, I hear and I see suggestions. You know, hey, you go to 513s or you can go to 538s in a Dana 44s. I personally wouldn't go below, most of the time, a 488 in a Dana 44, and I just happen to have a Dana 44 488 pinion. And now you can see, hey, we're getting back to being kind of small again. You know, so even though we are still under the Dana 44, because we went from 410 to 488, you notice our pinion has to get smaller again. The same thing between our Dana 30, when we went from 373 to 410s, the pinions get smaller as that gear ratio goes up. That's how that works. And not a lot of people notice this. So in reality, you know, if you're running 488s in a Dana 44, your Dana 30 373 gears, actually the gears and the pinion are bigger. So you're starting to lose some of the advantage. Now, yeah, the shafts, the actual rest of is way beefier. The bearings on it are way beefier. There's other things, but when you actually look inside the gears part, like I said, you're starting to lose stuff. And one of the videos I saw, a guy had a newer Gladiator diesel and was asking what gear ratios to go, and that's a M210 and M220, which is a Dana 44. And these guys responded possibly going to 513 gears, and the guy wants to run 37 to 30 inch tall tires. And my thought process, no way. You're pushing a diesel, which pushing like 442 pounds of torque, I think those things have in those. His gears would be even smaller than this, so he'd be losing everything from the Dana 44 upgrade. His gears would be smaller than a Dana 30, and you're pushing 442 pounds of torque, you know, and a load and everything else that would be in that truck. Absolutely not, in my opinion. I would never ever recommend 513s in that type of application. Plus his RPMs on his motor are going to be through the roof for a diesel. His real gear ratio, he'd probably be looking at like 456s, and there's a nice, quick, easy way to figure that out. Part of this whole conundrum of tire size and gear ratio and stuff, there's a really kind of easy way to figure most of this out. And so just a little math, it's not super hard. So let's say you have a Jeep JK, you're running 255 75 R17 inch tires, which basically equal 32 inch tall tire. You have an automatic, and you're running a 373 ratio. Now say you want to run 37s. Okay, so 37s, what you do for math is you do 37 inch tall tire, the tire you want to go to, times your current gear ratio of 373 will give you a number. This is 138.01. You take that 138.01, you divide that by your current tire size, which is 32 inch. That'll put you to 431s. Now you want to go up. You always want to go back up the next gear set, which would put you at 456s. So that means if you're running down the freeway with those size tires and that gear ratio, whatever your RPMs are in your motor, and you upgrade to 37 inch tall tires, you run 456 gears, you're going to be right back to that same power ratio, pretty much same gas mileage, everything. That's the part you're going to really like, is being back to where you were when you first got your Jeep before you started adding all this. Now, yeah, you want to add weight and stuff like that. That's fine. You can always go up higher. I run in the wife's Jeep, our off-roading one. We run 37s, and we're running 488s. And again, we're down to this size pinion. We're also running no spare tire, no interior. We got that thing pretty light, and we actually off-road, with it. We got bead locks, we air down single digits, we trailer the thing. So there's a lot to consider, but again, easy math. You can really figure out what you want. And then I highly recommend just being careful on going too deep for your current axle. That's when you want to maybe think, hey, if I really want to get into 513s or 538s like I have on my other Jeep, I got 1-tons on it. I got Dynatracs on those Dana 60s, and that was one of the reasons, because I wanted to run 538s. So you got to upgrade. That's part of the nice thing about running tons, is you can get into the deeper gear ratios and still keep a meaty pinion. I wish I had an extra Dana 60 set of gears around. I just don't. But those are even bigger than these. Dana 30s, 44s, and then 60s would be the next big thing. But the pinion size here, again, it's gonna go down every time you go on that gear ratio. So just hope this kind of cleared a couple things up. Hope some people get something out of it. And like I said, I'm not trying to badmouth any local companies or anything, but I don't know if they have to understand what they're saying. But I know they're in the business to make money. But even the books, can tell you what your preload would be for your bearings if they're used, and and even the books say, hey, it's fine to run used gears. Like in this instance, before I took these out, I took down all the numbers. I ran a gear pattern on them, and I'm gonna do my best to get back to this exact gear pattern within the specs and everything. And that's pretty much it. It's not super hard. It saves you a whole boatload of money, people. $500-600 for a set of gears. Sometimes more, and some companies will charge even more just to look at them. So hope this kind of helps. Probably boring for some people, but for a nerd like me, it works. Keep your stick in the ice. Go Buckeyes.